Hi there, I'm Catherine Ware with Outsource Elite, and today is the beginning of my new podcast interview series, and I have an amazing first guest speaker. I have Rick Garcia, the former founder of G12 Communications, and now the Executive Vice President of Modern Work and Marketing at Momentum as our very own Teams phone expert. Welcome, Rick.
Awesome. Thank you, Catherine. Nice to be here with you today. It looks like we've got both the same background. How fortuitous is that? That's pretty funny. Same background.
Great minds think alike, Rick.
Oh, exactly. Okay. All right.
So, Rick, can you provide an overview of the Microsoft Teams phone system and its key features in just a few moments?
Okay. So the Microsoft Teams phone system is really, there's two massive components to it. There's the best part about it is that it's part of the greater ecosystem within Microsoft. So it allows you to integrate a lot of your components. And we'll talk about that, I'm sure, later. But if I think about key features, it's the collaboration, it's the chat, it's the voice, it's the phone system that you would think of a normal phone system. It has all those features. In fact, let me do this if you don't mind, Catherine. And I don't want to take a lot of time, but I'm going to show just real quick kind of what I mean. There's a lot of features that are that I can kind of depict easier, I think, in a screen share. And so let me just kind of throw that in there if you don't mind. So there's screen pop availability, and this is just for speed here. There's call recording, it's transcription, there's the CRM integrations, auto attendance, like everything that you can think about in a normal phone system. Nomadic 911 is important. Everything you can think about in a normal cloud phone system is included in Microsoft Teams phone. And then the second part is the massive ecosystem that make Microsoft Teams phone all that more exciting for businesses, because there's a massive opportunity for workflow automation and those sorts of things. So that's what gets us excited about Microsoft Teams phone.
Okay, so that's perfect. That's a perfect lead in and almost an answer to the second question, which I have, which is what are the advantages of using Microsoft Teams as a phone system for a business? So I guess that's your most recent slide. Do you want to elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. That's perfect. So if you think about Microsoft Teams phone, it's a platform, right? It's built off of Azure, and in Azure, you've got all these different features and all these different applications and services like Power Automate. And what that allows organizations to do is automate connectivity into other applications. So think about workflow automation as a simple example. It's Power Automate that does the screen pop into Salesforce. So if you get a call in and you're using Salesforce and Microsoft Teams together, that screen pop would come up with the caller, right? That's Power Automate doing its job, seeing the call coming in, going, hey, I've been set up to show you Salesforce. And it goes in, pulls out your Salesforce URL, you give it a URL, and it literally takes 2 minutes to set up. It's 3 clicks to activate, and it's 2 minutes to set up. So essentially, the integration with other applications is built via Power Automate. Azure Communication Services is basically the Teams features like video and chat and calling. You can externalize that. So if you could imagine those things coming in from a website, right? And other administrators of companies know Power BI as the statistics platform. So you can use Power BI components to give you the stats that you want. The bot framework is built out really well so that you can create bots to deliver information. Maybe you've got a help desk and you can have the bot read your help desk information and deliver that stuff. This is all built already in Microsoft and super simple to deploy. Cognitive services is what does the transcription, the recording, those sorts of things. So it's the greater ecosystem that Microsoft has that makes it such a really sexy platform. I use that word quite a bit, the really sexy platform.
Okay, so I think you've probably read ahead as well, because you've almost answered my third question, but I'd like some specific examples. How does this integration, so you've just demonstrated awesome integration, how does it improve the collaboration and communication within the organization? So you just mentioned Salesforce a little bit. Where else is this integration really powerful, and how our business is going to benefit?
Yeah, so businesses if they're a Microsoft, and this is where it's important, if they are already a Microsoft organization, they invariably will run off of something called SharePoint, right, where all their data is stored and things like that, right? So if you can imagine every recording that you're going to do on Microsoft Teams gets dumped into SharePoint as an example, so that it be shared across the organization, and that's that tight integration across your chat, your document storage, all those components. It's one big, beautiful system that works easily together, and it's visually appealing. So you throw the phone piece into it, and now you've got the same tech stack throughout the organization. So it makes it a really compelling argument inside the organization. Does that help?
And I'm guessing with that, we're looking at some sort of cost or efficiency savings as well, or benefits.
It's funny you should say that. Extreme cost savings, and I'll give you another slide here. Actually, it's not a slide; it's a report. Forrester did a report. There's a 23 version here, but basically, I'll show you what it came to. Is organizations that use Microsoft Teams Phone, because they're, let's say, a Microsoft organization, but they at one point had maybe a Cisco platform. Okay. For those organizations that changed out their services, whether they were a small business or an enterprise, and I'm trying to find the right slide for you, in the small business, and just to be clear, Microsoft considered small business and 800 users and below. Organizations, if you think about the total cost of ownership, okay, the total cost of ownership, they saved 82% total cost of ownership, right? And so here's what I want to show you that's even more interesting. The components that they measured were these things, right? Cost savings from retiring a legacy phone system. Okay, so that's like apples to apples, right? What do I pay for phone service today, and what does the Teams phone cost to me? Okay, then there's the reduced telephony support effort. Now think about people and licenses and things like that to run an old phone system. Okay, so you take those costs into account. Then you take improved integrated communications. That's what I talked about. SharePoint and everything lives there, and everybody's in the same system, the same application, no separate tech stack. So think about the minutes saved across the entire organization added up and what we pay those employees. So there's a calculation for that Microsoft used here. And then finally, not even included in the calculation are better security and business continuity. We didn't put a value on that. So Microsoft didn't put a value on that, nor did they put a value of happier employees and customers. Think about if you deploy a new phone system, how much training has to be done, all those things. And you have to learn the frustration and the time that you're wasting where you're just like, stomping your arms, your hands on your desk going, I can't figure this out, right? Those sorts of things they didn't even take into account. And so there's extreme savings when moving to Microsoft Teams Phone when you are a Teams organization.
Awesome. Rick, that's all we've got time for today. So thank you so much. And stay tuned for part 2, where we're going to talk about the how we implement Microsoft Teams. Thanks, Rick. I will see you for the next segment.
Great.